What's up, guys? It's your boy Daniel here in the studio, and welcome to the Human Podcast. I have here with me we have Kristen Narine, we have Joel Cherry, and we have Ashley Warwick on this special topic today. Um, this one is a deep one. This one we could get in trouble for this, but we don't care. This is a serious topic. This is about our country, and we have a need to talk about it. The United States recently had protests about police brutality against a certain group or a certain race, all right? And that spewed for months. Just of yesterday, June the 30th, protests along streets of Port of Spain, streets of the Beetham Highway, streets of Maloney, streets down south have engulfed because of a situation spurred involving police officers and three individuals in a gold theater. During the protest, though, um, a woman was shot by police officers, and as soon as she reached the hospital, she succumbed to her injuries and died. Two other individuals have also been shot, but they are in critical condition at the moment. So I'm wondering, what's all the perspective on the protests and the situation between the police officers and these three men? Why are we protesting, or why are we protesting, or why is it that the police feel the need to fire shots on these three men?
Mhm. For me, the process will be like, how to put this properly.
Because we understand that the protests, I I'm trying to figure out, what are we protesting for? Are we protesting for the three men, or are we protesting for police brutality? Nobody has given us the direct statement to what are
Well,
we
they say they
protesting for.
say they say the protesting police brutality
Is that
because they didn't
really
have to go.
considered police brutality? Because I've seen the video. If you haven't seen the video, go find somewhere and check it out. Um, I think the exact same day, a police officer was shot and killed in the same area, and police were sent out on patrol looking for a description of a vehicle, which was the yellow Tita, and they found the Tita driving right next to them, opposite in the opposite direction. They stopped. Mind you, it was three vehicles carrying about 8 people in each one of them. All three vehicles stopped. All the officers came out and surrounded the Tita. Now, I do understand that the passengers and the driver of the Tita, they had their hands up and saying that don't shoot. They claim that they were innocent, right? But if you were really innocent, why would your car be a description, or why would you be a suspect in a police officer's killing?
Firstly, anyone should have that yellow Tita.
That's not
That's
not really not really.
no, no,
That's not
but
really a common color, especially in Mova.
okay, that's not a common color, but still people color their car. So in case like if they get stolen, they can identify the car a lot easier than if it was like a normal color.
Uh,
That's why some people tend to color the car in sober colors. So in the event of anything happening to the car, be either get stolen or whatever, you can have a description and it will be like one of the few cars that can actually match that description because not everybody's gonna have that color.
I find this is very two-sided though, because on one side I find that the police were doing their job, because
Yeah,
They
but it
found
is
the
a shot.
description. They found the car that they were told by, I'm sure, by the Commissioner of Police, Gary Griffith, to look for. They found it, and everybody jumped out, surrounded the car. Okay, cool. Is only to the point where the passengers or whoever the police officers started throwing stones. Then the situation escalated. Um, the passenger of the Tita, well, according to reports, went to grab a gun.
A
If
shot was
if
fired,
none of the
and
officers
then
exactly, if none of the officers retaliate, well, I shouldn't use the word retaliated, but acted upon them going for the gun, another officer would have died.
Okay, so one of them allegedly fired a shot because I didn't see any footage.
I couldn't see it in the footage either, but this was
Right.
according to reports.
I saw that they came out with their hands up,
Yes.
right? Based on that information and what I saw, what the police did was not right. If you have suspects and you found people that fit the description, you have to take them into custody and you can't just shoot them on the spot.
Yes, I agree. You take them into
honestly,
custody,
who
yeah.
was like escalated because someone heard a gunshot and they felt threat. When that gunshot went off, apparently a gunshot went off, and when that happened, that is when they shot.
But the police were doing their job. That's what they are trained
not
to
at
do.
All.
If the
They're not
police,
trained to shoot people on the spot with their hands up.
that's not what happened in the video. They didn't shoot while their hands were up. The man actually went. How to say it? He jumped towards the car to go and get something, which they found later on was a gun.
I did not see that. That.
There's two videos. There's probably the short one that you looked at, and then there's the extended one. In my opinion, the police were doing their job.
Okay. So you had this one person that went for a gun. What about the other two? Wasn't necessary to shoot
Accomplice? Well,
accomplice.
Accomplice. You,
Was it necessary to shoot the other two people that who had their hands up? And look how many officers look at the ratio of officers to the suspect that they found.
It didn't look like every officer shoot a gun.
But all of them had guns.
Yes.
Yeah,
and every one of them had
because
guns.
they are police officers.
Yes.
All police.
If they had to shoot that one guy, okay. But the other guys,
it's not so easy. I don't think it's not that easy.
But they are officers. They are trained to do those things.
Wow, using my words against me. Wow. It's really not that easy. In our real life situation, it's really not that easy. If you are in a car that has a gun and you go to reach for a gun, well, I would assume that all three of you would have guns and will start shooting. This is just the police response.
No, it's basically like you don't want to lose your life. So if you see someone trying to go for a gun or something, and you have a gun in your hand, your first instinct is to shoot.
As a police officer, you don't want to get shot. And on top of that, you don't want any of your assistant officers to get shot. That is your responsibility to keep yourself out of trouble and your team. If any of those officers were to get shot, somebody would have to take responsibility for it.
As an officer, they train you as the last resort is to shoot.
Yes.
That was not
one kill policy that the police commissioner has given their officers. The last resort currently right now is not shooting. They can shoot at any point in time. If they feel like somebody's pulling a gun, if they think someone has a gun, they have the order to literally shoot the person and then ask questions later. So I think
but
a
shoot
lot
them
of
in a way that
situations.
you can't kill them. It's not shooting. It's shooting them in a way to not kill
To
them.
wound them. But again, it's not that easy. You
Thing.
can't. It's not. This is not Call of Duty. You know. This is real life. You can't just be like, all right, I can shoot him in his leg
And
and expect it to actually hit his
even tough with the
leg.
guns they had, even tough with the guns they had, you're not going to be able to get precise shots on where you want to shoot. You're not. With the gun they had, like if they had like a normal Glock, a normal handgun, whatever, yeah, they could have shoot him in the shoulder, in the leg, whatever, incapacitate him. But they didn't have that gun. They had I'm getting the name of the gun. That's not. I think it was like a semi-automatic.
So you're saying that the police, you all agree with the police. They did the right thing.
Mm,
I think that the
no,
police were doing their job. It's just that it just was not done the right way, but at the same time, it was still their job. That is
So
what
they
they are
just
told to do. You can't really blame
find
the
some random
officers for
people
that. That is
without
what they are
questioning them
trained.
and then just shoot them.
If
I
you
don't
are
think so.
being
When they had
shot
a
at,
hands up, they should have like go for them one time. If you see one going for the gun, okay, have right,
every
shoot that person.
everybody
Everybody had to get shot.
yeah, because you don't know if the other person have a gun also. The whole car is now a suspect.
That they tried to put them, like they put them in the vehicle and tried to get them to the hospital.
Yeah,
Why would they do that?
that
As
I guess.
officers, you're supposed to carry them to the hospital, even if you
No,
shoot them or not. You can't just leave them to dead. What you mean?
that's not what they do.
What you mean? That's not what they do. They carry them to the
You're supposed to call the
hospital.
ambulance. To shoot them and they know they
To call an
die.
ambulance is
They
going to take too
know.
much time. That's not practical. This is wow. This is really a sad topic to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel it to both sides. I feel a sense of sympathy because these are still three men who lost their lives.
Yeah.
Um,
My whole thing with the protests now, coming into the protests,
No.
they protesting for like contradicting reasons, honestly speaking.
I, out of all the things you could have protested for, why protest this? But
I mean, it's not
I
like the first
understand.
time.
I
Okay, it's not
we
like the first time, and it's not like the last time this is going to happen. But police handle people in those areas a lot differently
a lot more
than
aggressive.
in, yeah.
Yeah.
They handle them a lot more aggressive
than regular
people
areas.
in regular areas.
Mm-hmm.
Is because of the status that they hold, because of the areas, but at the same time, that's still not an excuse. Whether or not this area is known for having gang activity or whatever activity, that's still no excuse to be treating them differently than the rest of the areas or the rest of communities. I think still as a police officer, you should treat everybody the same way. And if you killing somebody should always be the last resort.
So,
At least try your best to attain these people and arrest them. There's a next thing too. During the protests, they were on Beetham Highway, and
Yeah.
police officers sent shots out just as warnings, and it just so happened that a woman by the name of Onella Greaves, she was shot, and by the time she reached the hospital, she died.
She died.
That I can
My whole
protest
thing
for.
with the whole protest,
That I can protest for.
didn't,
I think
they didn't use rubber bullets or like some other
I was
way of
wondering
sending a
that
warning.
does Trinidad even have rubber bullets?
Yeah, they do.
We do?
They do.
Do
Yeah,
we?
we do. Yeah, in
Really?
certain situations, yeah.
Okay, but
Nobody
wouldn't rubber bullets be
has
the better
mentioned
idea
the use
than
of
shooting
rubber bullets on
live
non-lethal
ammunition into a
equipment.
crowd?
Okay, no, right. So say you're on duty, right? So you're on duty. The bullets that the ammunition that you go out with is live bullets, is live rounds, whatever. So in the case of what happened on the thing, they're not gonna go back to the station to go and get, rubber bullets.
But
They're
how
just
you
gonna go with what they
but how
have
you
to
reach
do
there in the
because
first place? How you reach the Bitom?
huh?
Exactly.
Remember
It
If
has
you
to
reach
be
the
that
Bitom,
remember
you
something
must be
is
by
going
the police
on that
office or something. Somebody must tell you, hey, you know you cannot use live ammunition because this is a protest.
yeah.
remember okay, we also remember the kind of area
Your
where
point.
Peter Mountain is. So if you know, okay, and I want to try to bash Bitom people, but like Bitom and Laventille and Mover, they have a culture of having guns and they have their own live ammunition and things. So if you're gonna deal with something up there, you wouldn't go with live rounds. You're
A
not
rubber
gonna go
bullet
there
not
with rubber
soft, you know,
bullets.
Cherry.
Yeah, I understand that, but that's just how things are.
A rubber bullet does
But
still sting, you know.
yeah,
Yes.
but
Okay,
the
so I
thing is
stand
not because
corrected.
that's how things
It is
means
lawful.
that it's right.
It is lawful for them to take the injured, injured
To the hospital.
to the hospital.
Right. That's what they did
And
with
they
the
won't
woman
deport.
actually when they noticed that she got shot. They picked her up and they put them into
Have
the
a
van
lot
and
of
drive.
people that got shot because someone on jail alive as well got
Harry, I
shot.
shoot.
He got shot.
Harry. Somebody check Harry
I don't
there.
want to laugh at that.
That's not
I don't
funny.
want to laugh at
That's
that,
not funny.
but he got shot in his ass though. It's
Oh,
not
that was
something
the
to laugh
video you were watching with
Yep.
Why? Just why? Why? Our priorities are so mixed though, because I find we just protesting for the wrong thing. Because are we really protesting the three men? They first of all, one of them was known.
We
One of
don't
them
know.
was known for murderous activity.
Okay, but we don't know if he do it this time. Next thing you know, he's
You're
at
still
changed mind.
wanted. At the same time, you are still wanted by police. So are you really protesting over criminals? Is what I'm asking. I feel it. Yes, I feel it because of death. These three men died. Yes, this could have been handled better. But at the same time, we could have been protesting for so much other things. A 2-year-old and her father has died. There has been protests, there has been petitions for it, but it was not exactly. Why was it a small petition compared to this now?
It's one of the own.
You had a very minimalist. It's baffling of these people's priorities. When it is that 2-year-old died, I should have seen the roads rioting and causing a scene because of crime. But only because you see these officers doing their job, especially with a known criminal, then it is you want to start a riot. That just doesn't sit right with me. Why was it that no one protest for the officer that was shot the same day, the same Saturday?
Because of that officer.
Wow, that's the excuse? That's really the excuse?
That's basically the
Somehow I
excuse.
feel like these two things are related.
They are related.
Well,
Trinidad is a
that's
kind
reason.
It related
Weird
because
place.
after the officer got shot the same day, they went on patrol. They went looking
to
for
find
the
To
car.
find them.
Yes.
Right. So that's their way of protesting.
That's so messed up, dude. That's like so. I am truly disappointed in both Trinidad, as in the citizens of Trinidad, and the police service. I do believe that the police could have handled it in a better way. At the same time, y'all should have been protesting for
everything
the
could have
right
honestly been
things.
handled a lot better, to be honest.
Everything.
Like, I
Apparently not.
get why they protest. I
Oh,
get
you
why
didn't hear
they
the best part?
protesting.
What's the best part?
The Attorney General blames Kamala.
Wow. Look how it resides to politics.
Now, this whole people trying to push the politics and thing into this, yes?
And you know what's the thing too? Like they said that some of these people were paid to start these
Yeah, people were
riots.
paid.
And
Yeah, people were paid.
these
They
people
were
were
paid by
paid to
gang.
be yes, they were paid by gang leaders. According to reports, this is not just free mouth I'm talking. According to reports, they were paid to throw rubber and wood inside of the streets and cause riots, right? Now, okay, I could understand them. Cool. They get paid, they get another $500. Cool. What about the other people? The people who not getting paid? Are you really
People who
protesting
not
or you
getting
just
paid
are you
no. People who not
protesting?
getting paid,
I don't
that are
understand.
they are one of their own, right?
What is your
Getting paid
reason?
or not,
What is your reason for following? Are you protesting? Are you getting a piece of money, or you just see other people running up and down the road and you feel that, hey, I want to join this too?
honestly speaking, I don't think people that just go out and protest for like no reason. I think are they getting paid or is actually something that affecting you? People are not. If you're seeing people are not run off, do what thing protesting, you don't go and join just so.
This is
So I think
affecting
it's
everybody.
between those two people, either the people are them who got paid and people are them who were really affected, who knew them personally and was in their community, and they say, you know what, enough is enough, they protest.
So it's our friend thing.
Right?
It's our friend thing.
Yeah, because if it's one of your own, right? So say if it's one of your own,
It's like you're trying to
your
barbecue.
friend
Wow.
get killed by police and saying, you don't want to protest about that. And if you want more people to come to your protest, because you feel like you don't have enough,
It's
you go
support.
out and pay people.
My brethren doing it, I support them. That's it.
Yeah.
I think this is why these protests are not going to end up making any change because nobody knows, first of all, what they're protesting for.
I don't
And then
know.
with the multiple controversies surrounding the protests, with wanting to take over the country, people getting paid, people saying, why are they protesting for this? You should protest for that. It's not going to make any difference because it's a movement made up of bacchanalia, controversy, and just stupidity at this point in time. And this is I know it's a very different take than what I would usually have, but I and all don't see the point in what they've been doing because I could say, not if they're protesting police brutality, okay, they have a cause. They're protesting for the man who died, okay, they have a cause. But this has just been downright lawlessness over something that nobody knows what we're fighting for at this point in time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the fighters, like, I know the protest started. It had small things started over the weekend. Then yesterday just blew up into this
Yesterday was
big
just
thing.
ridiculous.
Yesterday's on everything.
Today is ridiculous.
But I didn't go nowhere today. I didn't see anything today. Sorry.
Today, have you not seen the news today? Today is the roads
Nope.
are packed with people. Now they have a reason to protest because of how the police handled it yesterday. Yes. But at the same time, this would not have happened because of the three men. Because of your unnecessary protesting yesterday.
Okay, I don't honestly think it's just because of the three men. Because this has been happening over and over in these areas.
So why
Like
protest now?
other videos. It also has other videos where police been dropping off men in areas that warring with each other, picking up men and dropping them off in a area that warring with the area that they live in, and let's expect them to reach home and expect when they drop them off there, a big fight would happen and person either get beat or shoot or kill or whatever. It has multiple instances where police just doing things and no one's seeing anything, no one's reporting. So this is like a mixture of all of that coming together. Because it have a limit to how much you'll be able to take. You always have a
True.
boiling point.
True.
And when
I
things
agree.
boil over and spill over, that is when chaos and thing does happen.
I could agree with
When
that.
enough is enough,
I agree. Because I would say that we do have an issue with the police in this country having more aggressive suppression of situations. The police, I think, should be there to de-escalate, not incite. Because when you come into people, contact with people who are angry and they're running on emotion instead of logic at the point in time, running in there, pointing guns, yelling, threatening is not going to solve a situation. And then there are issues with innocent people being killed in communities, people, hassling people for no reason, all of these little things that have been going on. And when you live in these kind of areas, eventually, you get fed up and then you hear, oh, he was a criminal, oh, he was a ghetto youth, oh, he wasn't this, oh, he wasn't that. And it's just a lot of these things and all these stereotypes that we put out there is hotspot. Everybody down there is a known criminal, all these things contribute to the frustration. And sometimes it builds and it just be people react in a way that they should not be reacting in.
True. But at the same, it's extremely two-sided, as I said before. I agree with the protesters to an extent, and I also agree with the police officers to an extent. A lot of people are affected by this to the point where people are afraid to go into Port of Spain. Just today, they're still protesting from early morning today, 4:00 this morning. There was also a woman, female police officer who her car was bombed. I've seen the car that.
As soon as she reached home, yes?
As soon as she reached home, only because she's an officer. She's not even involved in the handling the protests and stuff. Just because of the fact that she's an officer. Our priorities are off, and honestly, I think they
will start to do officers within us now.
Exactly. They will start to do officers. I've seen videos where there's people threatening the officers and things. Honestly, if you're going to act like animals, these officers are going to treat you like animals. This is why the officers are going on the road and they're pointing the guns at people. They pushing them wherever. They holding them by the neck. They just carrying them to the police vehicles. Down to Fuad Abubakar, who was arrested amongst the 72 people. Down to him he was arrested.
Okay, see, when he got arrested, that is when things actually.
Now you see.
That is one thing
that's aggravating. You see. If let's say, for example, I had started a coup in 1990, right? I take over the government. I bomb up a whole set of buildings. Cool. And you decide to take my son, my life, my death. This is mine. This is my heart and soul right here. The junior me. You take my son and put his hands behind his back and put 2 pieces of chain on him and trim in the back of a white and blue car. Nah. I was doing it again.
You didn't hear what he said? When the reporting and Abubakar said that, the way to say what?
I respect Abubakar.
The the police service is one of the biggest gangs in Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes, I've seen that.
Something I still was saying.
I wouldn't comment on it,
disagree
but
with that.
yes, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of criminals who work in the police service. Yes, that's true. But as any other police office, there are corrupt criminals. There are corrupt police officers anywhere we go. But back to the Abu Bakr statement. If you take my son, I was bombing up the place again. Honestly, I respect Abu Bakr for keeping calm. He actually put himself on public television and was like, the protest needs to stop. You need to take my son out of the he next thing too, he didn't know where his son was held. More reason to bomb up the place.
I can tell you that now.
If it's my son, real trouble, you know, real trouble going down the place. I respect Abu Bakr. Don't forget, you can check out this episode of the Human Podcast on your favorite podcast channels, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Anchor FM. Check out our Instagram at human.podcast and our Twitter at humanprod. Use the link in the description to listen to more of our episodes.
Happiness, me not gonna make it on me down. Struggle deep, yeah, but me not gonna drown, yeah. Yeah, me rather road for my cap and gone. You Glock 19, me not fi go back, yeah.